I think the issue is there is no policy. There is no plan. Because one, nobody thought this many would come. Nobody thought it would go on for this long. Keep in mind, the first busload of migrants sent here, courtesy of Greg Abbott down in Texas, arrived 1 year ago. And I think there was an initial thought by the previous mayor, Lori Lightfoot, that, this was just a publicity stunt. Maybe 100 or so people would come, and then we would go back to the way it was, which was essentially people coming across the southern border and those southern states dealing with it, or the migrants just kind of melding into society. The problem here in Chicago is that already shelters were at capacity. There isn't room to take on 13,000 additional people. And let me tell you, you go to the grocery store, you can see migrants outside asking for money. You go to the police stations, you drive by any of them, there's tents set up. And they're talking now about converting an old hotel. There's already some in the Standard Club, which was once this Tony private Chicago social club that went out of business a couple of years ago. They're now migrants living in there. The sense is there isn't a plan, either at the local level or, more importantly, at the federal level.
Yeah, the New York Post had a big front page about business owners in New York asking the Biden administration.
And Shalom, Israel. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Makakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, blessings, salutations to your sincere Akim out there pushing the truth across the four corners of the earth. All right. I'm the brother Shaman of Great Millstone, Chicago. And I've done a couple lessons on this, but basically the lesson here is this is what happens when you lean on the staff of Egypt. You trust in Esau, you know what I'm saying, to be your caretaker. He's gonna let you down every time, right? And this whole situation, yeah, man, they talk about, we never expected all these people to come. Well, what the fuck did you think was gonna happen when, their country is basically hyperinflation has hit, right? Hyperinflation has hit their nation. Shit, they basically lost everything. All right, now they're a sojourner, somewhere else. All right, what do you think is going to happen? And again, this is what happens when you lean on the staff of Egypt. This is what happens when you don't have a covering. All right, this is what happens when you don't have your own land, and that's part of being a nation. All right, that's why that's a central part of us coming back to our heritage, coming back to everything. Of course, we're in the process now, but certain things we have to be in our land to implement. All right, that's part of the birth of our nation. The scriptures mention that a nation shall be born at once, all right, on earth as it is in heaven. The Lord said, I have chosen one pit. And of course, his chosen people have to be back there, man. All right, so I just had a couple of scriptures because Esau did this. They did this tactically too. They did this. They knew it was going to happen. That's why in the past, when people immigrated here, what Esau did was, right, he knows that they come from a caste system. And so you have the Southern Kingdom, which they've been wanting certain positions and certain jobs for years, right, since slavery and all of this, because it's like a status thing. So what Esau do is he'll bring in different buffer groups. Okay, he'll bring in, Arabs around them, and then different Eastern Europeans, around them, kind of section them. Different Africans trying to section them. And then, on the outskirts or so, they'll stick the Northern Kingdom because they really don't want, either of the tribes of Israel, by them too close. All right, they got to watch their daughter. They got to, even though the curses are on Jake, man, Jake is we are our own worst enemy, and it's just true. All right, and they do this on purpose. I was talking to an older woman, a Northern Kingdom woman. She was talking about how basically, the Northern Kingdom came in here in huge waves here in Chicago. They were getting beat up. They were facing, a lot of persecution on the South Side and different places. And basically, it was envy, because they were receiving a lot of positions that, like I said, the Southern Kingdom wanted for years, and now, they felt like they deserved, and now they kind of passed them off, to the Northern Kingdom over the Southern Kingdom, and that was done purposely. All right, because a lot of them too, you have a lot of tears between both, but you got a lot of tears in the Northern Kingdom. All right, they basically wanted that status to be white. I've heard a lot of Northern Kingdom Jakes say that when they were growing up, they wanted to be white. All right, and they've done that tactically, man. They put these people tactically where they put them: South Shore and the South Side, Hyde Park. Which, if you don't know, Hyde Park is kind of a, that's the one of the last places of the middle class Southern Kingdom in Chicago, right? So it's like a little bullshit diversity. You got Edomites living in there. You got, like I said, Northern Kingdom. You got college students. So it's one of those types of environments. It's above the South Side, and they put these people in here. Like I said, they put them here because they're already vexed. They had to leave their land. They had to walk up an entire fucking continent, or however they came up, or getting bussed over, or whatever, getting shipped from Texas to come all the way up here. So they're already out of their zone. You know what I'm saying? You got the ones, the crazies amongst them. You got the different gangs and shit which are amongst them. All right, women included. All right, and then they're throwing somebody else's neighborhood into chaos, because it's like, who are these people? Now they're stealing. Now you got to watch over your shoulder. And who are these people? All this stuff. All right, and all this comes back to Esau. All right, Esau, because that's who ultimately fucked over Venezuela. You know what I'm saying? He'll tell, well, they did it themselves. But who gave them the idea for this false currency? All right, for their oil? Who implemented that? Who set up all of these different coups and these different governments and put weapons in the hands of all these different resistance groups and try to overthrow this government, and then we want to try to, militarize them so we could try to take this organization, all these different things. It's Esau Edom, right? The hammer of the earth. Right? You're a crooked hammer too, man. The nails you done nailed in are real crooked. That's why shit is fucked up right now. All right, that's why it says, Isaiah in 11 and 12, because ultimately, regardless of whatever, people are being gathered here in Babylon for judgment. Judgment is about to go forth. All right, so a lot of those people are going to be of the elect, and then those who are not, they ain't gonna make it. All right, Isaiah 11 and 12, and he shall set an ensign for the nations, and shall gather the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. Excuse me. All right, now he's going to actually gather them up, gather all of the elect up, but ultimately, like I said, there are a lot of people being sent here to Babylon for them to hear this word, and then this place being, Ophir, our par, meaning reduced to ashes. All right, because that's exactly what's going to happen. This place is going to be reduced to ashes. All right, the envy also, and that's from the four corners of the earth, verse 12. But a lot of people, like I said, are being gathered here to this particular spot, which is a focal point for destruction. Right? It says, And he shall set up in Salaki, verse 13, the envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Right, which is plain. It's plain, man. A lot of problems come back to envy. Different tribes envy each other. We envy this, we envy that. Why do they get this? Why do we get that? Right, the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Esau being the main one. Right, Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. And that's the day we're coming to, man. That envy is going to disappear, and that vexation is going to disappear. And vex meaning, and this is vex, tazaror, to show hostility towards, treat with enmity, harass her. You have to bind, to be in distress, make narrow. And it's a lot of that energy, between the tribes. But yeah, Judah really be on that with Ephraim. Right? When those are your brothers. Like I said, mainly because Esau has been the puppet master, pulling the strings, and they be like, well, shit, hold up, man, we have to go through all this hardcore shit, and they just come and just get, whatever. But you got to remember, this is the devil's kingdom, of course. Shut up. This is the devil's kingdom, it's like it. Of course, right? The sweet, what you want, the tender kisses of the enemy. Right? Everything they're gonna give you is gonna be tainted. Everything is gonna be fucked up. It's gonna lead to death. And these last couple of years have been proof of that. You're not getting nothing free. All right, they were talking about basically limiting benefits, going further. Because there was a lot of people coming here. They said, well, look, we're going to have to limit some of these benefits and cut some of these programs. You have people, getting mad about that. All right, because, of course, the nigger woman, she want them stamps. That's another bill she don't have to pay. She could be in the club and, being have the newest purses and the newest ride, you know what I'm saying, with that assistance. All right? Hey, ultimately, that's why I say we use the world. We ain't in love with this place, whatever. End of the day, when they make that call, hey, you can't buy or sell unless you have this. It's we out. For the elect, we out. No negotiation. All right? And that's the time we're coming to. All right, because all these situations have precedence in the scriptures, man. This is Leviticus 25 and 35. If thy brother be waxen poor and fallen in decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him, yea, though he be a stranger or a sojourner, that he may live with thee. All right, which is not to say you let somebody overtake your house, but you do help him. All right, you got the corner of your field or whatever. You're supposed to leave that. All right, verse 36, take thou no usury of him or increase, but fear thy power, that thy brother may live with thee. Thou shalt not give thy money upon usury, nor lend him thy victuals for increase. And that's basically what they did in Egypt, man. They were charging them, and there was a famine in the land. And then eventually they had to sell themselves. Well, shit, now we got to go into servitude. Well, shit, we don't have shit. I am the Lord your power, which brought you forth out of the land of Egypt to give you the land of Canaan and to be your power. And if thy brother that dwelleth by thee be waxen poor and be sold unto thee, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bondservant, but as a hired servant, and as a sojourner he shall be with thee, and shall serve thee unto the year of Jubilee, which was the 50th year. And then he depart from from thee, which it was every 50 years, that's what I'm saying. And then shall he depart from thee, both he and his children with him, and shall return unto his own family, and unto the possession of his father shall he return. All right, so he's supposed to have his own lands established anyway. Hey, the Lord is perfect, man. He knew what he was doing. For example, Judges 21:17. Let's start at verse. Let's start at verse 13. And the whole congregation sent some to speak to the children of Benjamin that were in the rock Rimmon, and to call peaceably unto them. And Benjamin came again at that time, and they gave them wives, which they had saved alive of the women of Jabesh Gilead, and yet so they sufficed them not. And the people repented them for Benjamin, because that the Lord had made a breach in the tribes of Israel. Then the elders of the congregation said, how shall we do for wives for them that remain, seeing the women are destroyed out of Benjamin? And they said, there must be an inheritance for them that be escaped of Benjamin, that a tribe be not destroyed out of Israel. Howbeit, we may not give them wives of our daughters, for the children of Israel have sworn, saying, cursed be he that giveth a wife to Benjamin. Then they said, behold, there is a feast on the feast of the Lord in Shiloh, yearly in a place which is on the north side of Bethel, on the east side of the highway that goeth up from Bethel to Shechem, and on the south of Labona. So let's see what that says. All right, you can see, you got the land of Benjamin. Okay, and then, Ephraim. North of Bethel would be Ephraim. And see, if the daughters of Shiloh come out to dance in dances, then come ye out of the vineyards and catch you every man his wife of the daughters of Shiloh, and go to the land of Benjamin. All right, so they had to grab up these different Ephraimite women. All right, and then that was their wives, because all of the women of Benjamin were killed off. All right, and if they would have just allowed them, whatever, y'all just got to die, well then a whole tribe would have been destroyed out of Israel. So, ultimately, so that's why I said we have to be established as a nation, and that means mainly because they say the throne of iniquity and the throne of righteousness, they can't coexist. This man got to go down. All right, that's why we continue to pray. That's why we continue to call for the downfall of this place. That's what this is all for. All right, because we see everything this man does is backwards. It's how they say it, it's tacky. Which it is, man. It's lame. This man is a true lame. They really brought these people here, and I just saw some earlier. Got them sleeping outside the police station. All right, just totally bogus how they did these people. But at the same time, shit, you trusted in Esau. That's what you're gonna get. So it's a lesson, both ways. Hey, Lord willing, this is edifying, Hey, may the elect, wake up out of those who come here. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of brothers who do Spanish camps, and they speak in Espanol. You know what I'm saying? So hey, that's a beautiful thing, because that could pull somebody out and pull somebody to the truth who might not have another way. All right, or if they don't want to listen, that's on them. But ultimately, the elect is going to come out of where they're going to come out of. And then, the 144,000, and then, of course, the 1/3 of Israel. So all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shai. To the next one. Shalom.